I should have an endorsement from you. Otherwise, it's just really hard to tell people that I'm your advocate. So going in there and having positions that I want at 24 hectare is not helpful. And being an MBA student, that's sort of my area of expertise, or well, it's going to be once I take one of the relevant courses.
So this is for Bijan. There's been a lot of comments, Bijan, about how you vote in board and things like that. I'm wondering, do you see your position as a member of the Board of Governors or as a student representative to the university on the board? And how do you go about ensuring that that happens in your daily time of work?
Well, everyone who's on the board has a fiduciary duty to do what's in the best interest of the university. Now, what some people confuse the university is that they think the university means the university administration. And what I have been trying to give a spin on that word is that the university includes the students of the university, the staff of the university, the faculty, and everyone who's in the university. So I've been trying to make sure that that word university means students and everyone else in the university. So when I vote on something, I think about the larger interests of the campus community. I'll be brief. When you talk about communication with students, you have to also define the significance of that communication. People don't want to be receiving things that they think are boring and are not relevant to them. So you have to create that relevance first. And in order to do that, what I've been doing is asking people what is it that's important to them as far as community building is concerned on campus. Nobody really identifies with being a UBC student, but people mostly identify with being a physics student, a member of the dance club, a fraternity member. So I've been going to these constituencies, asking them what are their burdens that stops them from building the community that they need to build, and I've been helping them with problem solving, specifically the fraternities and the relationship with the RCMP. Yes, I have two specific questions, and this goes to Michael and Tristan, surprisingly. Well, you both have been involved with the sub-renewal process of the negotiation. The most recent update to the Board of Governors on Wednesday was the negotiations have come to a halt as far as the university is concerned. I do understand there's sort of a back door that's open and the office trying to keep that open. But essentially, university has said officially that they have withdrawn from the negotiation and they have contributed to essentially the AMS's behavior. So I would like you to comment on that, and essentially, you know, how you would get along with work going in with that history.
So the most important thing to understand is that this has nothing to do with behavior, it's an issue. The issue was that the students want to hire their own architect, and we brought it to the sub-renewal committee and our board of directors, student council, and we went in camera and they said, of course we have to have our own architect because we had already negotiated in the MOU in the summer. So we issued an expression of interest to send a clear message to the university that we're going forward with the process of hiring our own architects for our own building as we had negotiated in the summer. Now, Brian Sullivan, who I speak with Dave very frequently, was going away for a month, and what they're doing as a negotiating tactic was to try to say in public, you know what, we're really mad about that, and so let's show that we're mad about it. So these are part of negotiations which Bijan is bringing out in public. But I think within the next couple of weeks, we've been working with them weekly on the bus terminal coordinating the things. But the next week, they're going to have to base that we're hiring our architects.
It's really hard to talk about this because obviously when you have negotiations, there's a lot of back and forth. And it's difficult to bring it out in public because a lot of things happen, importantly, behind those closed doors. What we're seeing is that the issues are having lack of communication again. The Board of Governors doesn't know what the issues are with students. We try and tell them, but it gets stonewalled. Now, on the whole, they still respect us, and that's important. We are still communicating and we're still working towards an agreement. What we have to do is we have to push hard. We have to push hard to make sure that the center stays focused. And as soon as we push as hard as we can, that's when we get to a good agreement.
Okay, now we're going to move on to the audience question portion of the debate. So if anyone has a question, please approach the microphone in the back.
Okay, so just a specific question for you, Bijan. The Friends of the Farm recently, or somebody involved with them, I suppose, released a recording of you going to them and saying that if they endorsed you, you would make the farm a priority for your presupposed, hypothetical rather, next term on the Board of Governors. If you are elected again, have you decided to make this a priority, or are you still waiting on the farm's endorsement, or what's your plan?
Thanks, Austin. I must say I've kind of been really enjoying this phase. I've never had to deal with such amount of publicity before. You know, I want to be absolutely clear. The Friends of the Farm have said that they had nothing to do with the recording. It was somebody else that did. And obviously that person's framing this to run a smear campaign against me, and that's okay. It's been somewhat successful, I agree. But at the end of the day, you have to recognize that I went in there with a firm commitment to the farm. It was already on my website, and it was already on my poster. You know, the clip there keeps talking about the project. I keep saying, I want to be committed to this project, but I need your endorsement. There was a context to that. I had been talking about a specific project. I had been talking about the elements of that project. People knew what the timelines were. It had to do with regards to the academic plan. And so I was saying, if I am going to have legitimacy to carry on above and beyond with my general commitment, I should have an endorsement from you. Otherwise, it's just really hard to tell people that I'm your advocate.
I actually just have a follow-up question for Bijan. You said in your most recent response and a couple times that you have a firm commitment to the farm. But the way you word that is quite frankly something that I'm not quite familiar with. So do you actually have a commitment to keep the farm where it is and at 24 hectares, and you say so plainly?
I have been very clear that I need to learn a lot more about the farm. It's a process that I haven't had the chance to undertake because last year I left it mostly to Tim because he knew exactly what was going on with the farm. What I have said clearly is that in order to make any progress on the board, you need to be able to link what you need to do with the project that you want to carry on. And building an academic plan around the farm is the best way to make that link. So going in there and having positions that I want at 24 hectares is not helpful. You need to see what's underlying that interest and try to link that with the university's mission to be able to get it. And I went to the Friends of the Farm saying I can do that.
Thanks. I really do believe that the Board of Governors is broken. I'm not looking to come into board and make, wide-changing reforms, but I am looking to sort of build those relationships with other board members and convince them that their duty to represent students needs to be held higher than it currently is. I see a bit too much university administration dictating what the board does. I'm not comfortable with that. So I will look to work with board members and always make sure that they have student interests in the highest regard.